All right, so let's go ahead and let's make this game. So this is going to be a gravity flip game for iPhone, and I give this a number here. All right, and this is going to be cool because we get to deal with gravity flips here. So let's go ahead and let's run it. And while the simulator is loading, let's hop into the game scene.swift, close everything up there. And once the game loads, just to make sure that everything was indeed correct, we can go and make sure that it does indeed work here. So, hey, look at that. It does work. Perfect. So let's delete all the extraneous code that we don't need in the game, at least for now. And we're going to go and add in all of our items here. Okay, so we're going to add in a var. We'll call this player is equal to sk sprite node. And we'll also add in a variable here called floor is equal to sk sprite node. And we're going to add in another one called ceiling. And we'll make that equal to, you guessed it, sk sprite node. Then we're going to add in a floor block sk sprite node, and we'll also add in another one called ceiling block, make it equal to sk sprite node. Perfect. All right, so let's add in a label main because we're only going to add in one label for this one, so it's going to be sk label node. And what we'll also do is we'll add in another variable here. We'll call this gravity down is equal to true, and we'll call this touch gravity is equal to true. And then lastly, we need another game state variable called isAlive. Now, when I make my game state variables, gravity down, touch gravity, and isAlive are pretty self-explanatory. So we're going to keep track of whether the gravity is up or down. We're going to keep track of the touch gravity, which is kind of a check just to make sure that everything is working. And then isAlive is going to be equal to true when we're going to keep track of whether the player is alive or not. Okay, let's add in some colors. So we'll add in some off black color is equal to UI color, and we're going to make this RGBA value, so we'll make it 0.2, 0.2, 0.2, and 1.0. Okay, we're going to say var off white color is equal to UI color, and we'll make it 0.98, 0.98, and 0.98. Okay, and then we'll add in a var called orange custom color, make that equal to UI color dot orange color. And I happen to like the orange color. Let's add in another variable called player size, make that equal to a CG size, and we'll make it a width and a height, and the width will be 50 by 50. The var will say that this is the floor block size. Okay, and for now, we'll make that equal to a CG size, and we'll make that equal to 0, 0 and 100 for now. And let's make it equal to 100 and 100 by now. And we might change that later on. All right, what we'll also do is we have the two sizes here. We'll call this var, we'll call this floor height. Make that a CG float, and that CG float will be 100. Okay, we're getting close here. We're going to add in a vector here. Now, let's go call this down gravity. Now, all a vector is it's essentially it's a direction here. So we're going to make down gravity equal to a CG vector, and we have a dx is 0, and this is going to be negative 100. So that we will set the direction of the gravity to one of these vectors here, and we'll call this up gravity, and then we'll call this CG vector and we'll make it equal to 0 and 100. So y is up and down. So if the gravity is negative, it's going to the ground. If it's positive, it will go up to the top. The amount or the size of the number, that is 100, the higher it is, the more strict the gravity and the more forceful the gravity is going to be. All right, so we're going to add in block speed, and we're going to make that a double, and we'll make that equal to 2.0. I think that's probably pretty good. And then we also, since we're dealing with physics, we need a struct called physics category, and we're going to go to static let player uint 32 is equal to 1 static let floor back block actually is u int 32, and the int in I has to be capitalized. For some reason the autocomplete didn't do that, but you can just do it yourself if that's indeed the case. Static let ceiling block, and u int 32 u int 32. Make that equal to 3. Okay, so there we go. We've now pretty much set up our game variables. Now if we want, we can set the self.background color is equal to orange custom color. All right, this concludes the tutorial.